What is good, YouTube? It's your girl Rocky, the Rocky Way, and I'm back again with another video. Today, why are black cartoons disappearing? Make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We are 4 subscribers away from 100 subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you that have been subscribing. I hope you guys are all having a blessed and amazing day. I'm going to stop all that talking. And we're going to get straight into this reaction. Shout out to Neighborhood Tales for this video. You can't even see it, but just know this video is by Neighborhood Tales, okay? All right, there you go. Shout out to you. And let's just get right into it.
Hold on. How many black cartoon characters is it on TV right now?
But first of all, actually, I saw this topic and I really thought about it, for real, like how many black cartoons have been created? Like back then it was a lot. Like you had like the biggest ones like the Proud Family, you had the Boondocks, you had the one with the guy with the hat. I forgot the name, but he's like a little chubbier kid, and it's like it was a good one. Just know, like you had so many black cartoons, but now like I don't watch cartoons. I'm not like on TV like the kids like that anymore, so I'm not like as tuned in as I was before. But I'm noticing that as well. It's not talked about very often.
Name 5. I'll give you time.
That's Tyler, the Creator, and he's explaining why he changed the main lead from his TV show, The Jellies, from white to black. Now, I didn't watch The Jellies, and neither did you, but I do remember watching this, and it resonated with me. Because I remember watching Fillmore, Class of 3000, Static Shock, Tuttenstein.
Yes.
Remember Tuttenstein? But this clip is old.
I didn't really watch Tuttenstein. I'm not that old. Like
2017 in July old. This take isn't relevant anymore. Yes.
This is 2017? No way. I didn't watch this. Anybody watch this? Because I was in 2017. I was in 7th grade, I think.
Yes, it is.
7th grade.
Look, I'm gonna make it even madder. We currently have the same number of black cartoon protagonists on television now as we did back in 1929. 1. What about Craig of the Creek?
No way. Oh, yeah.
Series finale ended earlier this year. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, as of recording, not greenlit for a new season. My dad.
What? And nobody's really like catching on to this. That's the crazy thing. Like we just see the ones that are out now, but like we're not catching on how there's no main cartoon that's like literally about like
The Bounty Hunter
people.
Canceled. Shouldn't we be past this? There should be black main leads everywhere. I'm not talking about the shared limelight like Jon Stewart or Jay.
I feel like it's only in movies now. Only in movies that you mostly see black people. Like they're trying to like take. Who's the creator of? Okay, cartoon is a form of animation, so I'm gonna put cartoon. Creator of cartoon. Okay, so oops, I spelled it wrong. You see here, I need to go back to school. Um, so famous creators include Matt Groening, creating The Simpsons, Garfield, and Walt Disney Mickey Mouse. So let's see animation. Because animation, I did a whole like animation, like a whole animation like class to like 2nd graders, 3rd graders, because I'm not a teacher. Again, I instruct. So I literally was given everything, the objectives and all that. So everything was like there for me. I just had to teach the kids and be there. But J. Stewart Blackton. Okay. At least we now know he's not the single creator, but it evolved through the work of many inventors and artists over time, starting with optical toys in 1830s and leading to the first recorded animated film on a standard picture, humorous faces of funny faces created by J. Stewart Blackton. Okay, I mean, I guess. Oops, wrong. I can't find the fucking page anymore. Sorry. Okay. All right, let's get back into it.
I'm talking full-on protagonist. There's no doubt about it. It's their show, hands down. Well, no, because as of right now, the only show that's featuring a black protagonist and currently keeping us tied with the same year that kicked off the Great Depression is a show that I grew up watching as a kid, The Proud Family. Except now it's been revised for newer audiences, so they're loud
way.
and somehow prouder. This is a problem.
What? They made a new one for like no, they should have kept it the same way. No, the Proud Family is like literally top 5 of all animated top 2 or 1 in like black like animated films. I'd probably say number 1 to be honest, like
Problem.
for
Bias and
real.
stereotypes just scratch the surface as to why there are so few black main characters in mainstream cartoons. And while the lack of representation is putting a much needed spotlight on these studios, revealing some serious blind spots and unsolved questions, the worst part about it is
Right.
it affects all of us, regardless of your race, age, or ethnicity. We're losing
I feel like there's more animators that are black, like more black animators, only because of the rise of not the current rise, but the rise of anime and
the
all that.
ability to nurture our own racial identity while simultaneously developing harsh social dynamics not only amongst ourselves but each other. But to understand any of that, we need to know why black cartoon characters have had such a hard time gaining and remaining in the leading role spotlight. Well, that's
All right.
simple. Negro Boy.
What?
I think we've established
Sorry.
that
Let me
caca
fix
and
this a little bit. I know
tuki don't work.
More formally known as Bosco, he's the first black animated cartoon character, created by Hugh Harman and Rudy Icing, who worked as animators at Walt Disney during that time. The pilot, Talk Ink Kid, aired in May of 1929, and it blew up. Not only because animation was still relatively new, but synchronized sound was super popular, which is just a technique of matching audio with whatever effects are actually happening on screen. That said, a series of short films soon followed during the 1930s. And Bosco even saw a resurgence in popularity when it was brought to the small screen in the 1950s, even still airing into the early 1990s.
That's crazy,
but
though.
why was it so popular? Well, if you've been watching the clips being shown, hey, hi, welcome back. Beyond traditional animated antics that were popular during that time, Bosco himself was a jack of all trades. More like black jack of all trades. Singing, dancing, playing any instrument with ease, Bosco was the real black deal, because let's not forget that a lot of his tropes came from black stereotypes. This was important because Bosco set the preliminary stage for what was seen as acceptable, as well as what was needed in order to capture an audience's attention when showcasing black characters. And that can be seen on full display with the Censored 11. And if you haven't seen the Censored 11, I'm really sorry what I'm about to do to you right now. Do you remember? Okay, so that was not only the opening theme to the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes, it was also the opening theme to the Merry Melody segments. Simply put, think of a short musical that hosts a variety of characters, both known and unknown in the Looney Tunes universe. As for me, I genuinely loved them. I can still recite songs to this day. But unfortunately, I've had to add a few more to my memory, like Coal Black and the Seven Dwarfs. As it sounds, it's a racist reimagining of Snow White memory, like Coal Black and the
Coal Black and the Seven Dwarfs. What the fuck
Seven Dwarfs. As
is
it
that?
sounds, it's a racist reimagining of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But they put duh
Wow.
in seven because, you know, black people don't talk good and can't articulate. And it also featured a whole host of fun characters. Prince Chawin, with his gold teeth and dice for central incisors, so white as the over-sexualized black female lead, and the dwarf.
What the? This has to be the worst thing ever created. What is going on? Because, wait, did I know about this? I don't think I knew about this. I think it might have been mentioned, but holy macaroni. This is diabolical right here. What? No, no, no. Can we go back really quick? Because what do you mean? Coal Black and the Seven? Seven? Are you dead? Are you serious right now? Seven. And then their big ass lips. Oh my gosh. What the? Okay, not all black people have big lips. Matter of fact, maybe like 80%. The other 20% don't have black lips. Maybe like for females, women, maybe like 20% have a fat ass. Like it's not like, yes, it's common, but like no way. No way. Damn. And then what? And then y'all didn't do that to Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You ain't give her no lips. You ain't give her dry ass hair. You ain't make her skin even paler. You ain't put her in them bum ass fits. Like what the hell? This is
in the Seven Dwarfs.
diabolical.
As it
Nah,
sounds, it's
they're
a
just
racist
doing too
reimagining
much.
of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But
Too fucking much.
and seven, because, you know, black people don't talk good and can't articulate. And it also featured a whole host of fun
Diabolical
characters.
for
Prince
real.
Chawin, with his gold teeth and dice for central incisors,
He's
so
a
white as the
pimp.
over-sexualized
Oh my gosh, he's a pimp. Y'all, I think my computer's getting a little hot. It tends to do this. So only my camera will work regularly and then it starts to freeze. So I do apologize if it freezes often. We probably won't watch all of this because this is a 30-minute video and we're probably gonna only be able to watch about we're 3 minutes in. How far in this video am I? 10 minutes? Oh my goodness, I hit my 10-minute mark. Oh Lordy, Lord, help me, please. Y'all, can somebody tell me? I have no money for a PC, but like, can somebody tell me how I can get a PC for free? Or like something that allows me to stream to record or even stream for a long time without lagging because after the 10-minute mark my computer just crashes like it's just freezing like it works perfectly fine on my end. I look at the video back and next thing you know half of my video is frozen. It's literally frozen. It's diabolical and it actually gets me really mad because I'm trying to
If
do
you're so
this for
profitable,
real.
why do you
I had to reset it because just to make sure like everything is good. I had to yeah. W Adel, make sure you guys go to masstemptations.store. Go check out my clothing brand and go help me out, y'all. Need some more people to kind of show love. Yeah, I know I'm chatting, but for real. Masstemptations.store. Go check out the fits. I have the empty shorts on right now, the black ones, and I have the jacket right behind me. But as I was saying regarding my camera and all that, I do apologize if the screen is like frozen and it's not working. My previous video should be good, but this video I'm not positive and so on and so forth. Like I don't know yet. But I hope everything does work out and it's actually good.
Dwarfs. As it sounds, it's a racist reimagining of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But they put duh in seven because, you know, black people don't talk good and can't articulate. And it also featured a whole
That's
host of
crazy
fun
though.
characters. Prince Chawin, with his gold teeth and dice for central
He's a
incisors, so
pimp.
white as the over-sexualized
Like, girl, what? No, this gets me so mad because why? Because why? Do you not go? Okay, if you go to the streets, you know that it's a mixture of all the races. You can literally tell that it's a mixture of all the races. And then you're gonna make her worse after black women have been working so hard to not be seen as this because of a select few. Like, are you serious right now?
as black female
That's
lead, and the
crazy.
dwarves, cosplaying as US soldiers because this is 1943 and we are full bore into World War II. So the war
Wow.
propaganda machine is in full effect and we need all the patriotism we can get, which apparently includes over-exaggerated black stereotypes and physical
Wow.
features. But here's the thing you have to understand. Back
What the
then,
hell? No, this guy's funny. Like, where did this come from? Like, you're just gonna put on a random ass like science
this was a hit.
science
The
joke?
film
Like
received critical
what?
acclaim from white and black audiences alike, and Warner Brothers was praised for making it. Now don't get me wrong, it's not like black people were
What?
throwing parades.
Okay, let's read the
Alike.
praise. So Bob Clampett himself explained the evolution of coal black during his public appearances in the 70s and 80s and during taped interviews. Everybody, including blacks, had a good time when these cartoons first came out. All the controversy about these two cartoons has developed in later years merely because of changing attitudes towards Black civil rights that have happened since then. Audiences, especially Black audiences, loved the cartoon when it first screened in years afterwards, and in years. Um. Okay. First of all, it was during World War. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was blocking it. I didn't even realize that. I'm so sorry. But it was during World War Two. He said World War Two. So the crazy thing is, there you go. The crazy thing is, like, those people they're about to die. They're about to die. You can't like just okay, they're gonna find anything good as a form of entertainment because that during that time was scary times. Like they're not thinking about them fucking they're not trying to think about dying. They're trying to think everything but that. So then this comes in a form of hey, entertainment. Like what? This is diabolical. I'm so
Like, and Warner
whoever
Brothers
wrote
is
this is the
praised for making
stupid.
it. Now, don't get
I
me
know,
wrong. It's not
not
like black
good.
people were
Right.
thrown.
In 1979, it was scheduled to be shown at a Los Angeles Film Festival, and the Black Panthers, a militant black nationalist group, objected so strongly that it was removed from the
In
screening
parades, but back
schedule.
then,
In April 1943, the NAACP protested the caricaturist, what the hell, who appeared in coal black and set and the seven dwarfs and called it on Warner to withdraw it.
pickings
Wow.
were slim. So if you're able to make it onto the big screen and you've got black characters being played by black voice actors too, with authentic vibes surrounding
Damn,
their culture,
I'm pretty sure they got paid really well, but I hope like this girl right here, I feel bad for her. I don't know if she was forced to do it. So eventually hired an all-black band, Eddie Bills and his orchestra, to record the trumpets solos for the Waking Up So White final kiss sequence in the cartoon. Herb Jeffries, one of the prominent black musicians in that band, always spoke proudly of the cartoon and his work on it. Bob Campbell took us into downtown Los Angeles into the nightclub section to watch the latest dances and pick up some atmosphere. Some of it was pretty funny stuff that we actually used in the picture. Real tall guys dancing in uh, dancing with real short little women, and they'd swing their legs right over the tops of their heads. Okay,
sometimes you gotta take
like
the win. Trust me, it's better
it's a
than the alternative
nightclub. What do you
mainstream
want
media.
them to
And remember,
do?
this is just 1 out of 11. Goldilocks and the Driving Bears, Jungle Jitters, Uncle Tom's Bungalow. These are just a few films that came out between 1931 and 1944 that
What the? Okay. If it was created by a black producer, first of all, what the hell are you doing? But okay, if it was created by a white man, this is diabolical. If the script and everything was created by a white man, this was diabolical because what in the world? 1930s to what? Like, oh my goodness.
exaggerated black physical features and for stereotypes
Wow.
and
The
depicted black
lips.
people as simple.
And then why is the lips white? The top half of our lip is not white. Our lips are pink. What the fudge knuckles?
Dumb, and one note. So you can understand why Warner Brothers wanted to bury these
His
as
is
soon as
not
they
even
realized
white.
that
His is pink.
racism and
It's like
bigotry was
pink.
real. Removing whatever they could from the airways,
This is
distancing
diabolical.
themselves from it,
Wow.
and basically blacklisting
Everybody's lips are pink. Am I getting
haha,
mad?
any of those
Or
films from
like,
ever seeing the light of
this
day.
is
And
rage
while that's
baiting.
nice and
I don't like
yay,
it.
racism is bad, the damage had already been done. Given the tremendous success of the film, coming from a very popular studio with audiences of all ages and races singing its praises, the Censored 11 essentially gave competitors in the industry the blueprints of how black characters were to be used. Entertainment fuel as the proverbial jack in the box. To spring out, make us laugh, and then, okay, that's enough. Back in your box. And this type of execution can be seen throughout the following decades. Shows like the Harlem
Diabolical,
Globetrotters and
actually.
Jackson 5 were successful, but it mainly came from the popularity surrounding their real-life counterparts, while also playing to the racial tropes that were
The Jackson
previously
5.
set in
I was
place
actually
20
just
odd
watching
years ago. Not
Michael Jackson. Like, it was a quick talk. It was just like about how he like all his alleged allegations and how he was literally like damn near groomed to like take pictures all over his body because they wanted evidence. I don't know. It was just some weird
only
shit.
by the cartoons themselves, but how black people were portrayed and thought of in
Oh, they
general years
made
ago.
it
Not
in the
only by the
cartoon.
cartoons
That's fire. I
themselves, but
love
how
that.
black people were portrayed and thought of in general, i.e. simple, physically gifted, or musically talented. This also meant we
Wow.
weren't going to see the Jackson 5 discussing race relations while jamming out. Neither were the Harlem Globetrotters going to talk about new ways to promote equality. How could they? They were too busy fighting crime as superheroes. So these cartoons had permanent training wheels attached, meant to stay in their lane, be entertaining, and not rock the boat with any social or political messaging. The question is now, are there any shows in existence that bypass these stereotypes and social
Wow.
limitations while also meeting the 3.5 rule? 3.5 rule? Did you miss something while you were eating?
Yeah.
No, you're fine. I thought of the three and a
All
half, but
his
when I was
different like positions is actually low-key hilarious. Cause he came from like his bedroom, like he had he came from a background. Okay, the green screen, I see it right there. And then like out of nowhere, he's in his room. I don't even know if this is a green screen. Like, and then like what is going on? And then now he's standing
doing
in front
research
of
for
the
this
green
video
screen
because a
again.
cartoon's
Like,
lifespan is only three and a
this is
half
funny.
seasons on average, even less for cartoons with black protagonists. So shows that went over 3.5 seasons with black leads were top tier, as they not only had the ability to escape the biases and stereotypes set upon them by their predecessors, but had serious cultural impact and were able to connect with audiences regardless of race, age, or ethnicity. All that said, a show like that did exist, and ironically set in the same era as the Jackson 5 and the Harlem Globetrotters. It set a
When did
new
this come
standard for
out?
black character leads, challenged stereotypes that were set in place for generations, and even revolutionized how black characters were depicted and what they could talk
Make
about.
sure
So
you guys drop a
surely whoever
like on
came
this
up with
video,
something so
y'all.
dynamic, so positive, so socially significant, must share the same values and morals as the very show they created, right? Oh, God. Let's get this out of the way now. Bill Cosby is a horrible person. He drugged
Yeah.
innocent women, and I cannot
No, we know.
believe he got out of his 10-year sentence. And I wish
Diabolical, actually
I
crazy.
could associate
And
this
who's
next sentence
the other
with
guy?
damn near anybody else. But he did an ungodly amount of good for black people in Hollywood and media as a whole. Of course, there were other trailblazers
Yeah, because
that
he was
came before
rich. He was rich. He wanted to put on the black people. He's a
but
bad
because of his
person.
role as Alexander Scott in I Spy, which made him the first leading black actor in a drama series, along with a variety of other shows he did following that, black representation and perception started to shift. They worked jobs with higher statuses like doctors and lawyers. People were being introduced to small instances of
Wait, why am I just catching on to this? Yo, this guy is hilarious. I love this video. Hold on. You might, am I have to, yo,
black
what the,
culture,
am
and
I
most
just catching
importantly, at least in
on?
the
He's
industry's
just
eyes,
popping out of
Cosby showed that there
nowhere?
was a market for this type of television. So when he came to CBS with the idea about a cartoon centered around him and his friends getting into wacky adventures in Philadelphia, he got the green light. But unlike other cartoons with black leads that came before it, Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids were dynamic. Fat Albert
Did you
was
like go
athletic,
back to that
wise, able to lead,
spot?
but also ask for advice and guidance when needed. And while the others in their crew weren't as completely fleshed out, they too had their own style, humor, thoughts, and ways to contribute in a positive way. This wasn't slapstick, stereotypical humor with no real plot and one-note storytelling. There was depth. Each episode had Fat Albert and the crew helping each other,
Oh, I remember
friends,
Fat Albert. I remember this. But to be honest, I didn't really watch it. I saw it on YouTube and I watched it was like a while ago. I think like probably like 7+ years ago. But yeah, I remember not like yeah, I think that was no, I think I seen it first in high school. That was 7+ years ago. Well, that was exactly 7 years ago. I think maybe middle school and then most of high school. Cause mind you, I came here in third grade. Yeah, it still doesn't make a
or
difference, but still.
classmates through real-life
I don't remember,
situations
but I
like
did watch
divorce,
this.
interracial relationships, even alcoholism. And remember, this was in the 1970s. Conversations about these topics were difficult, so to be discussed on a television show geared towards children was quite significant. But through colorful and dynamic characters,
It didn't
great
change.
storytelling, and an understanding of how to present serious subject matters in an easily digestible way, Fat Albert was a runaway success, spanning 8 seasons from 1972
Yeah, no,
to
Fat Albert was
1985.
funny.
And
I
yes,
liked
Bill
it.
Cosby was a big
Little
name,
bit.
did voices in the show, and had cameos throughout the episodes, but it wasn't called Cosby and the Crew. Fat Albert took main billing, and he wasn't real, just a creation loosely based off of one of Bill's childhood friends. But they made him a
Oh,
star
wow.
when they very easily could have had the show center around Bill Cosby alone. So this was a really nice in-between for black cartoon protagonists in television. You got the popularity of a star to give the show legs, but you're not resting on your laurels. And you're challenging the cookie-cutter format traditionally associated to black characters. And you're successful. So how did we plateau? The show was revolutionary compared to all cartoons, black or otherwise. So if that's roughly 40 or 50 years ago, then why do we not have black cartoon leads everywhere in television? Well, an analysis came out in 1992 about television series with minority-led characters. It was called An Analysis of Television Series with Minority-Led Characters. And it looked into
Okay.
3 big networks, CBS, ABC, and
Okay.
NBC between 1950 to
And
1991. Now, it's no
PBS,
surprise,
right?
in the 50s and
PBS Kids?
60s, minority-led TV shows were basically non-existent, except for NBC. They literally weren't existent. But all that changed in the 80s when the numbers across the board increased exponentially. And if we look closer, black representation started to increase specifically between 1972 to 1981, rising from 6.2% to 9% for males and 5.2% to 6.2% for females. What's
That's still
interesting
not
is
a
while
lot,
their
but
presence
okay.
rose, their major or lead roles they played plummeted, jumping down from 9.6% to 2.4% for males and 4.6% to 1.6% for females. But why
As a
this sudden
lead?
increase with a subsequent decrease?
Monsters do have their place. In the zoo, in your nightmares, but not in your living room. Pay TV and cable TV companies are seeking the right to charge you for the very programs you now get free. Sign the petition in the lobby of this theater. Let your lawmakers know how you feel in the fight against pay TV and cable.
Yes, it seems like even the most
What the hell was that? What kind of commercial was that? What do you mean free TV, no pay TV? Yes. Are you
terrifying of
serious?
creatures, the pink carnivorous Tristegosaurus, wasn't enough to stop TV patrons from switching over to cable, putting these networks in a bind. They were losing customers left and right and had to pivot marketing to a new demographic. So who didn't have the disposable income for cable and cassette recorders and watched 40% more network fare than their white counterparts? Black people. But these networks had to play it smart. They didn't want to completely alienate their white audiences, but they needed to capitalize on this untapped market. So they found a middle ground by adding
So
more.
they made the white characters to be the main role, and then they added more black people just around the
Black representation, but
wow.
not too black, avoiding all that confusing ethnic culture that white audiences might not understand and have to learn about. So they found the best of both worlds. Black audiences were just happy to see more people like them on TV, and white audiences could have the same social content with the glorification of white norms and values in their media. And these networks had a variety of different success in their programs. The experiment had paid off, but that's all it ever was. An experiment. Besides NBC, who had doubled down in the 80s, both ABC and CBS cut back significantly on minority-led television. And given that the numbers from 90 to 91 would be skewed due to not covering a full decade, you'd hope that it would be a fluke, that after this dip, CBS and ABC would follow suit and get back on black track like NBC did in the 80s. But you'd be wrong. In fact, it was the opposite that happened. NBC was the one to follow those other two networks, cutting back on their minority-led television programs. So when these big broadcasters were struggling, they turned to black audiences. And once they were able to learn, adapt, and evolve, either by starting their own cable services, merging with competitors, or practicing broadcast syndication, they cut the very shows that kept them afloat. And by not going back to the time when large percentages of black characters had lead roles, the black protagonist role all but disappeared. Just look at where black leads are played on television today. Yes, these networks may still create shows like Empire, Mixed-ish, Black-ish, or Grown-ish. But that's it. Majority are found on black-owned networks or broadcast stations specifically targeted at black audiences. And that's great, happy to have it, but it's not enough. Now, I'm sure at some point you went, well, these are real-life TV shows, not cartoons.
My mom used to love watching that when she was like, because she does hair, so she's a hairstylist, so she has the TV right there. On Oprah Winfrey, like that one girl, that one lady, like, yeah, it was a time that was like 2012 though, like 2012 to 2016. Oprah Winfrey was balling, like probably till 2018.
Aren't
Really,
there
girl?
differences in the data
For real.
surrounding that? A fair question. The only problem is, what data? Finding well-researched information about cartoons in the same vein doesn't really exist, but I don't really think it needs to. For one, the sample size would be far too small to produce any type of meaningful results, which speaks volumes in and of itself. But also, this is the only real information you need. In this context, I view cartoons as the most authentic form of where these big broadcast companies
I was too old for it, but I was also like old enough for Doc McStuffins, and I really, really liked it. It was just like a little too kiddish. Like I think that point I was like 15 when Doc McStuffins like started to pop up. And I'm like 14, 15. I'm like, I'm not watching this little kid stuff, but I still did. I still did. I'm not gonna lie. I did still watch SpongeBob to this day. Like to this day, like not as much obviously, but just a little bit of it. If you know, you know.
true
I'm
intentions
not better in
lie,
the video
because
though, because
cartoons
I
take
know
a
my
really
thing's
long
tweaking right
time to
now.
create. Just ask. There's script writing, storyboarding, character design, and sure, you need those for live action too, but you don't need an entire cartoons. And while the 90s and early 2000s had some unicorns that were able to make it past that 3.5 rule ceiling or just real lasting impression on its audience, the number of shows leveled off, plateauing, never really peaking over 4 or 5
Oh
at any
yeah, I
given
remember
time. So
Billy.
given that these networks have all this power, the most logical answer is to change what they prioritize. To make it easier to understand, let's take a single one of these networks and think of it like a s'more. You've got graham crackers, marshmallows, and chocolate. Perfect. Now let's get this s'more and enjoy. No, this is terrible. It's not enough
Yeah.
chocolate. Hold on. Ugh, no, wait, still not enough. No, add more.
You gotta
More.
burn the
Seriously, get more. More. We stick with what.
All right, that's the end of the video. Yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this reaction. I hope you guys are all having a blessed and amazing day. Make sure you guys stay positive and subscribe to the channel. I'm almost at 100. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Stay positive, stay blessed, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.